The proof that 2,130 for Coyle Street was
hearing
abate
on
and
pre-considered
switch from
LU
proposed
items
mixed
under
commercial
ULUP number
residential
C
affordable housing to a homeless shelter.
210-239-ZMK and N-210-240-ZRK relating to the 2134 Coyle Street rezoning proposal in Councilmember Narcisse District in Brooklyn. The applicant seeks a zoning map amendment to change an R4 C1-2 zoning district to an R6A/C2-4 zoning district and a zoning text amendment to map an MIH program area utilizing option 1 and 2. These actions will facilitate the development of a new 5-story mixed-use building. Once again, for anyone wishing to testify on this item, if you have not already done so, you must register online, and you may do that now by visiting the council's website at council.nyc.gov/land use. Once again, it's council.nyc.gov/land use. Council, can you please call the first panel for this item?
The applicant for this panel will be Neil Weisbard, Marty Weisbrod, and Burrell Frost.
Council, please administer the affirmation.
Applicants, can you please raise your right hand and state your names for the record?
Hi, Neil Weisbard on behalf of the applicant, attorney.
Hi, Burrell Frost, PDF Design Architect's Office.
Is there a third applicant?
Yes, Marty Weisbrod.
Thank you. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before this subcommittee and in your answer to all council member questions?
I do.
Yes, I do.
Thank you. When you're ready to present your slideshow, please say so. It will be displayed on screen and slides will be advanced for you by our staff. For the benefit of the viewing public, if you need an accessible version of this presentation, please send an email request to landuse_testimony@council.nyc.gov. Once again, that's landuse_testimony@council.nyc.gov. And now the applicant team may begin. Panelists, as you begin, I'll just ask you to please reinstate your name and organization for the record. You may begin.
Hi, good morning, Chair Riley, council members. Neil Weisbard, attorney on behalf of Coyle Properties, LLC, the applicant. Can you please bring up the PowerPoint? Thank you. As Chair Riley mentioned, this is a rezoning application underlying 2134 Coyle Street from an R4 residence district within a C1-2 commercial overlay to an R6A residence district within a C2-4 commercial district. The entire project area will be mapped as a mandatory inclusionary housing designated area. Next, please. The site is located on the west side of Coyle Street between Avenue U and Avenue V. There are 2 lots involved in the rezoning, Lot 11, which will be the development site, and Lot 29 further south, which is part of the rezoning, but is not part of the development site. Next, please. This slide shows the actual development site, Lot 11 only. Next, please. Here's an aerial photograph of the project area. The area outlined in red is a development site. It's currently improved with a 1-story Dollar Tree store, which actually will remain under this proposed development. The building was constructed and will be able to handle the load of additional stories above. The remainder of the development site is improved with Burkhoff Supply, which will be demolished to accommodate the new development. The employees for that store will be relocated to another Burkhoff location. The project area also includes Lot 29, which is located further south and is outlined in yellow, and that is improved with the bank and other commercial establishments. Next, please. Here's a picture of the current zoning map. As I mentioned, it's currently an R4 residence district within a C1-2 commercial overlay. On the right side is the proposed rezoning area to an R6A within a C2-4 commercial overlay. Next, please. Here's a drawing of the proposed building, which will be a 5-story building, 55 feet in height with a 35-foot rear yard. To the north of the site, the existing Dollar Tree will remain. There will be a residential lobby and other commercial uses on the Coyle Street frontage, as well as an entrance to the parking garage. Next, please. As shown on this cross-section drawing, the entrance to the garage will be located at grade with the parking levels located at a subgrade level. Next, please. Thank you. Just to quickly mention that we worked extremely hard with Community Board 15 on this application. The height was reduced from originally 85 feet to 55 feet due to concerns by the Community Board, as well as a significant number of parking spaces. The garage can accommodate 195 spaces on 2 subgrade levels. However, pursuant to the Community Board's request, the number of parking spaces will be 1 space regardless of how many dwelling units, which looks like it'll be about approximately 120 dwelling units in the building. There'll be 1 space for each dwelling unit and 47 accessory spaces for the ground floor commercial uses. Next, please. The proposed building will contain 126,000 square feet of total floor area. Approximately 94,000 will be residential floor area. The existing Dollar Tree store will remain, which is approximately 10,000 square feet, and there'll be the construction of approximately 20,000 square feet of new commercial floor area. Next, please. Here's a rendering of the building. We worked with city planning on some setbacks to the building. As you can see, that Dollar Tree will remain, and the rest of the frontage will have the residential lobby and the garage, as I mentioned. Next, please. This is a zoning comparison under the existing R4 zoning. There is a 0.9 maximum FAR permitted under the proposed rezoning, and within the inclusion of a mandatory inclusionary housing designated area, the maximum floor area ratio is 3.6 for residences. Next, please. As you can see from this photograph, the rezoning is appropriate. There are numerous 7- and 8-story NYCHA buildings located both to the south and east of the site. Next, please. These are the breakdowns under the mandatory inclusionary housing designated area. This building will be comprised of approximately 90% 2- and 3-bedroom apartments. This will be a family building. There will be the rest of the apartments, about 10% will be studio and 1-bedroom. The applicant is anticipating to build under the option 1 of the inclusionary housing program, meaning there'll be 25% of the floor area will be dedicated to families making 60% of the AMI, with 10% making 40%. This will result in approximately 30 new affordable units with a total of approximately 120 units in the building. Next, please. As I mentioned, we worked hard with Community Board 15 on this proposal. At the Community Board's October hearing on the proposal, they recommended approval for the application on a vote from 28-6. We met with Councilmember Narcise's office presenting this on Tuesday of this week. There were certain commitments that the council member requested regarding workforce, sustainability, and affordability. And the applicant is prepared a commitment letter and is ready to execute that commitment letter at the council's request. and I'm here to answer any questions, as is Marty Weisbrod, who is the owner's representative and the developer, and Beryl Frost, who is the architect. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Neil. Unfortunately, Councilmember Narcisse could not be here with us today, so I'll be asking just a couple of questions on behalf of her. Given that building heights up to 85 feet are allowed in the R6A district you are proposing, can you please reaffirm your commitment to limiting the height to 55 feet? And also, why has this height limit been chosen? And what measure is your team making to ensure that this commitment is upheld with the community? That's the first question. Sorry.
So this height stemmed out of actually 3 meetings with Community Board 15. Originally, an 85-foot height building was presented, and the community felt that that was inappropriate. They also requested additional parking spaces above what's required under zoning. So we went back to the drawing board, came up with the 55-foot high building that makes financial sense. We believe it's appropriate. It's definitely addressed the community board's concerns. And Marty Weisbrod could speak to this more, but they've analyzed that a taller building does not make sense here due to additional construction costs for taller buildings and some of the local law requirements that would apply for taller buildings. The ownership's commitment can be reflected in a letter that we've prepared and circulated to Councilmember Narcisse and some of the council staff. And Marty, you could speak more to how you've researched, have you reviewed this, analyzed this, and it's your commitment to proceed with the building as presented today.
That is correct. I'll reaffirm what Neil said. This is Marty, and we have analyzed it, and that's correct.
Thank you. The second question and last question, aside from the dollar store, which will remain at the project site, what other commercial spaces are you considering for the ground floor commercial allotment? Would you consider having some of the space rented by a nonprofit serving the community?
When we spoke with the council member, we said that we would be willing to rent the space. We're not limiting the usage of the space to one specific tenant or another, one specific type or another, but we would not be able to volunteer any space because the commercial is an important part of the overall financial part of the job. So we're not against or restricting any type of usage. Obviously, it has to be family-oriented type of usage, but we're not restricting it, and we would have no objection for the community to rent the space. But in our conversation, I think she asked if we would volunteer.
I'm sorry, Marty, you went on mute. Marty?
I could speak to that. I could finish it up. Yes, so as the Councilmember Narcisse, we believe that she was asking for free space, volunteering the space for the NYCHA buildings. I think Marty just reiterated that that wouldn't work within their financial numbers, but would be happy to rent to such a non-for-profit.
Okay. Thank you, Neil. I now invite my colleagues to ask any questions. If you have questions for this applicant panel and are joining us remotely, please use the raise hand button on the participant panel. Council, are there any council member questions?
Chair Riley, I see no council members with questions at this time.
There being no further questions, the applicant panel is excused. Council, are there any members of the public who wish to testify on the 2134 Coyle Street rezoning proposal?
We do not have any members of the public who signed up to testify on this item.
There being no, if there are any members of the public who wish to testify on the 2134 Coyle Street rezoning proposal, there be no members of the public who wish to testify on the pre-considered LU items under ULUP number C210239.
喂，你睇到啲證據啦，咁呢喺證據上，如果識讀英文嘅話呢，就證明可能性啫。Teresa 同埋嗰個 Mercedes， 佢哋兩個呢係而家食緊死貓，係其他人整佢哋嘅，因為喺全部啲證據下呢，就講佢哋係嗰陣時係選擇affordable housing 低收入屋。 同埋嗰個 business plan。從來呢冇講過我會接受流民所，從來冇講過。喺全部嗰啲 meeting 從來都冇講過話會係嗰個21342185係會係流民所，從來冇講過。From all evidence, you can see this is definitely a switch and bait.
I'm here with Councilmember Narcisse, stand with her to fight against the switch here because she secured more affordable housing for the district. Now, without everyone knowing, they want to switch to homeless shelter because the developer can make more money.
This community came together and supported a plan to bring affordable housing.
Next thing we heard, the building was flipped and would now become a homeless shelter. At no time has Community Board 15 endorsed such a thing for our community.
You know why? Because those developers get more money. That's right. Those developers get more money. And I will stand next to you. We'll fight together. Make sure our city is safe. Make sure we build more affordable housing. Make sure everyone be treated equal. And then no more waste taxpayers' money. Today I'm here with Councilmember Narcisse, stand with her to fight against the switch here because she secured more affordable housing for the district. Now, without everyone knowing, they want to switch to homeless shelter because the developer can make more money.
This community came together and supported a plan to bring affordable housing.
Next thing we heard, the building was flipped and would now become a homeless shelter. At no time has Community Board 15 endorsed such a thing for our community.
You know why? Because those developers get more money. That's right. Those developers get more money. And I will stand next to you. We'll fight together. Make sure our city is safe. Make sure we build more affordable housing. Make sure everyone be treated equal. And then no